Good evening, everyone. So the shiur will be Lilu Nishmat, Elazar Cohen Ben Angela, and all the people that participated anonymously should have Atzlacha, Refuah, Parnasa, Bezat Hashem, and good children, easy pregnancy, and all what they need, Bezat Hashem, on their personal level should be fulfilled among the Klal Israel. That everyone should have what they need. So with your permission, tonight we would like to speak about, usually we are speaking about the Parshat of the week, and but this week, since it's the first week of the month of Adar, I decided to change the topic from Parshat Terumah to the month of Adar, and to explain a little bit more insight about the month of Adar, and trying together with you understanding what is the meaning, the deep meaning of the month. So there is a book, it's called the Sefer Yetzirah. The Sefer Yetzirah, it's a debate who wrote that book. Some say it's Adam HaRishon, some say Avraham Avinu. We have many opinions about the author of that book, but definitely it's a Jewish book. It's a book included in Judaism. And in that book, it's explained all the meaning of every month of the year. And he brings also the zodiac, the mazal of every month, from which we understand that the month of Adar is the month connected with the fish. Not only that, the month of Adar, the Sefer Yetzirah, is splitting the human being in 12 strengths. He says, the Sefer Yetzirah, that the human being has 12 powers. We have the ability to hear, to speak, to see, to touch, to taste. And he brings 12 power, and he says that the month of Adar is connected with the laughter, the ability to laugh. And I would like to speak tonight with you about the meaning of laughing. Number one, we see something very interesting, that being able to laugh is given only to humans. We never see an animal laughing. We can see an animal crying. A shochet that kills animal can tell you cows crying before being, killed. But we never see an animal laughing. We see humans laughing. Furthermore, angels don't laugh. They are very serious about their missions that they are asked, requested by God to do, but they don't laugh. They're very serious. However, humans have that ability to laugh. And here comes the first chapter of Tehillim. David HaMelech says, who is the lucky man? Ashrei haish asher lo halach ba'atzad reshaim. The lucky man is the one that didn't follow the reshaim, the advices of reshaim, of wicked men. But also the lucky man is the one that doesn't sit with moshav letzim, people that are just laughing from nonsense. Unfortunately, people today are buying tickets to get into how do you call it? Comic club, to laugh a little bit. I understand that makes good. But according to David HaMelech, this is called moshav letzim. This is called a nonsense, and the laughter, since it's given only to humans, it shows that this is a tool that is extremely pure, raffinate, and only humans that have so much qualities and so much powers, he is able to use it properly. So be careful, don't use it at any time. And the question comes to mind, for which purpose we should use the laughter. We should laugh. And here comes the story of the Gemara. There is a story in the Gemara that once one of the sages of the Gemara came into the market, a big shuk, a big market, people selling and buying, And suddenly, because he was a tzaddik, he noticed that a special man is in the market. Who was this? Eliyahu Hanavi. And he sees that special man, and he gets closer to him, and he says, Eliyahu Hanavi, I have a question for you. He says, yes. Can you tell me, among all those people that are selling and buying, and they don't learn Torah, they don't practice so much mitzvah, they are ignorant, among all those people that you see, can you show me who will have a part in the coming world? In the Olam Haba? Of course, it says, Kol Yisrael yesh lehem chelek l'Olam Haba. All the Jewish people will have a part in the coming world. But which part? Someone will be in the end, someone will be in the front, someone in the middle. So who will be, someone that will have a good part in the Olam Haba? So Eliyahu Hanavi, the Gemara says, answers to that sage, and he says, you see those two people there? He points on two people, and he says, they are deserving Olam Haba, a good part. He was shocked, because those two people were ignorant, simple people, and he didn't see anything special about them. So he's running to them, and he stopped them, and he says, can you explain me who you are? What do you do? What's special? He didn't tell them what Eliyahu Hanavi said. So the two people answered that they are comics. They are making people laughing. Not like comic club of today. It's like comic people that are making that people suffering laughing. Someone that just lost a parent, a close person of the family, they're very sad. They are coming and trying to just rise their moral. Someone that has a member of the family, Chas v'Shalom, to be that is sick or something like that, Chas v'Shalom. So they are making people laughing, and at least they should be, should feel better. If you cannot bring a solution to their problem, at least they should feel better. And here we understand from that story that laughing is a tremendous tool. Not only it's a tool that is given to human, but if you are using properly, you have chelek la'olam haba. You have a part in the coming world. And the two people says to the sage, because laughing is able to turn bitterness into sweetness. And maybe this is the reason why the month of Adar is connected, according to the Sefer Yetzirah, to the ability to laugh. Because the month of Adar was changed from bitterness of the Jewish people to sweetness, to happiness. And this is the laughter. This is the ability to laugh. So, if we look in the story of the Torah, we will see something very interesting, that also Torah speaks about laughing. Number one, we see that God's laugh. As we say, the man plans and God laughs. Right? So we see that God laughs. We are created as the image of God, so we laugh too. The angels are not created as the image of God, so they don't laugh, and not animals, and not anybody else laugh. We laugh. But also we see someone in the history that his name, his laughter, Yitzchak Avinu. Because a big laughter was in the world at that time. Why? Because Sarah Imenu, when she got the news that she will get pregnant, and she started to laugh as the biggest joke ever. Me, at the age of 90 years old, I would get pregnant? It's impossible. And she started to laugh, and she was telling that joke over to her friends, and people were laughing, and Hashem comes and say to Abraham, I don't understand, did I make a joke now? He says, no, Abraham Avinu was very, stressed. Why? Hashem is getting mad on me? He says, no, it's not me, it's Sarah laughing. Oh, because she laughed, you are going to call the baby that she will pregnant Yitzchak. Because tzachok means laughter. Yitzchak, he will laugh. Wow. Rashi says that in Hebrew, whenever you have a shoresh, we have a poal, you have a verb, that you want to turn it into future, you put a yud, and it will be Yitzchak. Yochal, he will eat. Yishan, he will sleep. This is in parentheses. So Yitzchak means he will laugh, because of the laughter of Sarah Imenu. And And here comes the question to mind, how can we make someone laughing? People want to make jokes, and sometimes the jokes don't work, and they don't laugh. So what is basically the common point between all the jokes that people are laughing? What makes the people laughing? And by the way, people think that we are laughing because of jokes. It's not only because of jokes, also because of situations. You got so stressed out about the situation, and suddenly you see that what you thought it's completely not that, and you relax. You relax very fast, and you start maybe to laugh. So also about situation you can laugh. So it's not about the joke. It's also in situation. So it means that there is a common point between jokes and situation that makes you laugh, and the question is what it is. The answer is like this. The surprising part, whenever someone is being surprised, that makes him laugh. You can take an example from a small baby, because we all were in the past small babies. And when you come to a baby and you cover your face and then you say, "Ooh," like this, right? And you uncover your face, the baby laughs because he's surprised. Oh, wow, he was covered his face and now he's uncovering it. Wow, he's so... And he's starting to laugh because he's being surprised about something that he's not used to. So when he's surprised, he starts to laugh. And and this is the month of Adar. The month of Adar, we have the Purim. We have Purim, and the holiday of Purim is about laughing, because Haman was the most important person in the empire of Ahasuerus. He had the ring of Ahasuerus. He was able to decree against anybody. Everybody was bowing down to him, beside of one person, Mordechai. Mordechai, lo korea velo mishtachave. He doesn't bow down. He remains straight. Haman says, "How dare you not bow down to me? I will show you. Tomorrow you are being hanged on the gallows." And what happened on the next day? Who is on the gallows? Haman. Wow, that's not something that was prepared. It was a surprise. So people started to laugh. Therefore, the month of Adar is connected with laughing, because here a very surprising situation happens. Instead of seeing Mordechai Chas v'Shalom being hanged, this was the natural process. It was v'nafochu. It was a turnaround, and Haman was hanged. So this is connected with the laughter. So now we understood what is provoking the laughter by a human, by a person. We can go a little bit deeper. And here I would like to tell two stories, short stories, that are sad stories, because they happened right after the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. And the Gemara in Masechet Makot brings those two stories. He was 4 rabbis, 4 friends. I will give the names: Rabban Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Akiva, and Rabbi Yoshua. Right after the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, they went to Rome. Why they went to Rome? Most likely, the Gemara doesn't say, but most likely is to help the situation of the Jewish people. Because after destruction, they got hit so badly, so they wanted to speak with the government to a little bit fix the situation, what happened in Jerusalem. So they went from Jerusalem to Rome. They saw destruction, murdering, blood everywhere. It was a disaster in Jerusalem, and they come to Rome, and they see all the Romans with all kind of pleasures, food abundant, and they were all with clothes, clean, beautiful buildings, everything beautiful, and they see how they are so low in Jerusalem, and here how it's so beautiful. They started to cry. They said, "How is it possible? The place of God was destroyed, and those non-Jews are just celebrating? It's not possible." They started to cry. Beside of Rabbi Akiva started to laugh. And he started to laugh and to laugh and to laugh, and the 3 friends said to Rabbi Akiva, why are you laughing? The house of God is being destroyed and you laugh? So Rabbi Akiva is answering his friend, and he says like this: if that beauty is happening to people that are breaking the law of God, can you imagine how will be the reward of us, our reward, because we are following the will of God? And he started to laugh. So it means that the three sages looked at the destruction, but Rabbi Akiva looked at the building after the destruction. He saw what is the outcome after the destruction, not the destruction itself. This is number one story. There is another story, and the second story goes also on those four rabbis, Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar ben Azar, Rabbi Akiva, and Rabbi Yoshua. Another time they were together because they were friends. By the way, Rabbi Akiva was the students among them. He was the students. All of them were rabbis, and Rabbi Akiva was the student. And they were standing next to the mountain on Har HaZitim, next to the mountain of the Beit HaMikdash destroyed, and they see far away from the place of the Kodesh HaKodashim a wolf coming out. And by the way, until today in Jerusalem, in the old city, sometimes we see wolves going around. We don't know from where they come to where they go. We don't know, but we see sometimes wolves there, because this is what it says in the prophecy, as we will see. So they saw from the Kodesh HaKodashim, the holiest place in the world, a wolf coming out, and they started to cry. But Rabbi Akiva is looking at the situation and he says, what a beauty. And he started to laugh. He started to laugh, and again, the friend says to Rabbi Akiva, how dare you laugh? You're laughing on the house of God being destroyed. Shame on you. They started to scream at him. And then Rabbi Akiva answers. And they said, please come down. I would like to explain you what is my vision. And here Rabbi Akiva comes into a development. He brings an idea, profound idea, and the friends will accept that idea. And what was the idea? The following. You know, Akadosh Baruch Hu said as a prophecy to Yeshayahu Hanavi, Prophet Yeshayahu, and he says in the pasuk, "V'atzivali edim ne'emanim." In order to be connected with you, the nation, the Jewish nation, I need two witnesses, two kosher witnesses, good witnesses. And the Gemara is asking, who are the two witnesses that are making sure that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is remaining with the Jewish people? And the Gemara is answering, you know who were there? Who are they? Uriah HaKohen and Zechariah Navi. This is what the Gemara says. Now, if you go afterwards, in the time of Yirmiyah, Hanavi, the Jewish people didn't behave good. And Yirmiyah was a prophet, gets prophecy from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he must say it to the Jewish people. And he comes every single day next to the Beit HaMikdash and he says, my dear people, listen to me carefully. If you do not fix your behavior, this house that you see now will be completely destroyed to ashes. You must do teshuvah again and again and again and again. And unfortunately, the people didn't believe so much. Because at that time, beside of Yirmiyahu giving the prophecy, it was a political issue between prophets. Who was the right prophet and who was the bad prophet? The false prophet, the wrong prophet. The wrong prophets were saying, okay, fine, you will do teshuvah later, you can continue. They weren't speaking bad to the nation, so the nation, the people, choose the wrong prophets over Yirmiyahu Hanavi. So they said, what are you speaking about, Yirmiyahu Hanavi? You are just blaming on us. We don't like to be blamed. Just leave us alone. And he went so far that the bad prophets, the wrong prophets, Nevi'ah Sheker, took Yirmiyahu Hanavi and they brought him to the government and they wanted to kill him. And Yirmiyahu Hanavi says to the government, don't kill me, because I'm here only to repeat the prophecy of God, and the same prophecy happened by my grandfather, Zechariah, and he said the same, so don't kill me because I'm only repeating. I'm not here to blame because I want to blame people. So the bad prophets said to the government, don't listen to Yirmiyahu. He wants to be saved from being killed. don't listen to him. You know why? Because there is another this kind of prophets. His name was Uriah, and here we go. Uriah. He was a Kohen. And this Uriah HaKohen, he was also a prophet, a big tzaddik, and he was also prophetizing about the situation of the Jewish people standing next to the Beit HaMikdash and blaming the Jewish people about their behavior. And Uriah HaKohen also got caught, and he also they wanted to kill him, but he managed to run away to Egypt. Now Yehoiakim, who was the king, I hope you follow me. Yehoiakim, who was the king at that time, he had very long hands, and he found out that he was in Egypt, so he caught him there, and he brought him back in Jerusalem, and he killed him. Uriah HaKohen was killed by Yehoiakim. That's right. So the bad prophet say to the government, don't listen to these prophets, because the same prophets, Uriah Kohen, were saying the same, and he got killed, so kill him as well. So he was a big politic, and the story, Baruch Hashem, at the end, the last minute, Yirmiyahu managed how to come out, and he was saved. Uriah got killed, but Yirmiyahu Navi got saved. So here we see that we have here Uriah Kohen. But the Pasuk says Uriah is one witness, Vatzivali Edim Ne'emanim, the Pasuk says. Bring me two witnesses. Uriah Kohen, and who is the second one? Zechariah. What is the difference between the prophecy of Zechariah and the prophecy of Uriah? So Uriah, we know what is the prophecy, we just said it. Because he blamed the Jewish people, be careful, he rebuked them, and he said, you must fix your behavior. And he said even further, he said, Yerushalayim Sadeh Techaresh. Yerushalayim will be destroyed, not like destroyed, it will be a parking lot. It will be a field, flat. No, you will have no memory from what happened before. It will be flat. But this was Uriah, but Zechariah says another kind of prophecy. He says, Zekenim uzekenot yoshvim b'sharei Yerushalayim. All elders, old people will sit in the gates of Jerusalem. So we see here two kinds of prophecy. We have Uriah HaKohen rebuking, and Zechariah saying, no, one day will come and Jerusalem will be full of Jews, and elders, old people, will sit there enjoying. Okay, so what we see here, we see two kinds of, and then this is all what Rabbi Akiva answers to his friends, and he says, I don't understand why you're crying. You see a wolf coming out from the Kodesh HaKodeshim and you cry. This is what Uriah said, and just like the prophecy of Uriah was fulfilled, it's a must that the second witness prophecy also will be fulfilled. If the first prophecy is not being fulfilled, so we don't have two witnesses. And Hashem says, I want Uriah and I want Zechariah. So as soon Uriah's prophecy is being fulfilled, Zechariah's prophecy also will be fulfilled. You understand? So therefore I laugh, because now it's not a wolf coming out from the Kodesh HaKodeshim. This is the beginning of the building of the Beit HaMikdash that Zechariah Hanavi is prophetizing about. So therefore I'm starting to laugh. So from here, from those two stories, we see a vision. This is a vision that the Talmud is teaching us. And that vision we should have in our life. Whenever you see something doesn't look good, I don't want to say bad, but doesn't look good, happening, you have two ways of looking. You have either the ways of the three sages, either the way of Rabbi Akiva. The three sages are saying, oh, let's cry about the situation, it's so bad. They look at like this. They don't look at the picture. But if you look at the vision of Rabbi Akiva, you start to laugh. Of course, if something very sad is happening, you should not laugh. But in your mind, you should say, this is the beginning of a renewal. This is the beginning of a new way in life. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't stay in the bad. He brings bad as a punishment, and then from that, he's going back up. So this is the vision of Rabbi Akiva, laughing on the situation, and the three sages crying because they see only that part. So this is the message from the month of Adar. The month of Adar, we understand that laughing is when you're being surprised. You're being surprised, why? Because something not expected is happening, right? The month of Adar, this is the month that something that is not accepted have higher chances to happen. Therefore, the halacha says, if you have a court against someone, a non-Jew, you should have that court in Hadar. If you are moving out, if you're moving from house to house, you're moving to a new house, do it on Hadar. Why? Because if something bad is happening, not expectation will happen. Something not expected will happen. So it will not be bad. It will just change. Just like they were expecting to see Mordechai hanged, Chas v'Shalom, and they saw Haman, just like this, your bad situation will be flipped. And then the laughter will happen. So this is the message of the month of Adar, and as a conclusion, if we have a few more minutes, I would like to conclude with a story on the Baal Shem Tov. He was once the Baal Shem Tov, and the Baal Shem Tov is like Avraham Avinu, going around in all kind of town, trying to convince people to be connected with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to be happy, asking how are you to everybody so they can say Baruch Hashem, bless God. So he was going around. One of the towns that he was going to, in that town, he was a Jew in charge of a hotel, and usually at the time, the hotel was also a bar. People used to come and drink a little bit of vodka or something in Russia, and they were sleeping there. So that Jew, he was in charge of that hotel, and he said to the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi, I love you. I want you to be only by me. When you are in my town, do not go to anybody else than me. I have a special place for you. You are going to be there. You stay there as much you want. This is your place. Okay? And he was going back and forth, sometimes coming, and he was saying before coming that he's going to come, prepare the place. One day the Baal Shem Tov just showed up without saying it before. So the Jew said to Baal Shem Tov, okay, you are here, no problem. I have your room empty. Please, come in. And the Jew is coming up to the second floor, to the room of the Baal Shem Tov. He's opening the door, and he became, black in the eyes. Because his helper, the non-Jew, he's leaning on the bed of the Baal Shem Tov. He was saying, the helper said, hey, it's for the guests. The guest that never comes. Once in a while he's coming, okay, we're going to hear when he's coming. Fine. I want to rest a little bit. He used the bed of the Baal Shem Tov. And he became so mad, the boss. He became so mad. He took him and he says, wake up. And he threw him out of the room. And he says, how dare you use the bed of the Baal Shem Tov? Shame on you. And he started to scream and to scream and to scream. But the Baal Shem Tov stopped him right away. And he said, up, 1 second. Why you speak like this to your servant or to your guy? So the boss says to the Baal Shem Tov, you didn't see Rabbi, it's not respectful, he used your bed. It says, do not speak bad to him, because one day you are going to need him. He will save you. Okay? Because he loved the Baal Shem Tov, he believed in him. He says, no problem, Rabbi. I'm not going to fire him, I'm respecting him. Okay, fine. The Baal Shem Tov stayed there for a few days, and then he left. And everything was nice. One day, this Jew, the boss of the hotel, he said, you know what, the Baal Shem Tov said that I need to respect that non-Jew, my guy. Let me give him something good. And he calls him and he says, come here, Ivan. What can I do for you that will make you happy? So Ivan is thinking for a minute and he says, I have a good idea that I've always wanted to do, but I cannot afford it. And Baruch Hashem, you have good money. I always wanted to go to college, to university, to learn a good job, to be able to have money. If you can pay for me the studies, it will make me happy. He says, deal. Why? Because he understood that he needs to respect him and to make him happy. So he wanted to fulfill what the Baal Shem Tov says. deal, no problem. Your studying are on me. And he pays him the money and he goes to the college. Arriving to the college, this simple man started to learn and they saw that he was a brilliant guy. He was a super brilliant guy, and he started to go up and up and up and up until he graduated in law. He became a judge, and what happened? He started to work by a paritz, like a governor by a specific place. That paritz didn't have children. He was very old, and he was working with him. And that paritz saw that judge, that guy that was brilliant. He said, "Wow, what a brilliant man! I must keep him with me." And he said, "You know what? I don't have children. I will pass away soon, like in a few years. I will give him what I own." And now this paritz, this governor, was so rich, like to the top. And he called him and he says, "You know what? I feel not good, and I will pass away in a few months. I would like to give you all what I own to you as a gift, because you're so brilliant. I respect you very much. You did to me a lot for me. So take it for everything for you, and you should enjoy it." He was so happy, and indeed, after a few months, the paritz passed away, and he became the new paritz, but with a lot of money. And he started to enjoy his life. And one day, this paritz, the judge that became a paritz, he was thinking about the past, and he remembers that Jew that he was working by him. And he says, "Wow, I need to meet this guy. I need to meet this guy, because I remember this rabbi stopped him when he was speaking bad to me. He stopped him. I love also the Baal Shem Tov. He knew about the Baal Shem Tov and everything." And this paritz went to the city where he used to be, and he's knocking on the door of the hotel. And someone is opening the door. He doesn't recognize the guy. He says, "Do you know who is Moshe? Where is Moshe?" He says, "Oh, Moshe is the previous owner. We bought his hotel. He's not anymore the owner." "Oh yeah, why?" "Because he became so poor that he lost everything. He lost everything." "Okay, so where is now?" He says, "Most likely he's with the poor people in the city. You can find him, like, you will be among the poor people, you can find him there. Okay, no problem." He goes to the center of the city and he's making an announcement. "I am the new governor from that place. I'm willing to give money to all the poor people of the city." People started to hear that. They said, "Wow, the governor is giving out money, $100 bills. Let's go." And everybody started to come, big lines. And he wanted to see who is the Jew, where is the poor guy, where is the thing. So he started to give and to give and to give and to give until he finds the guy. He says, "Oh, this is the guy. Wow, he looks so old, so weak. I must help him." And he says, You go on the side." And he goes stressed, He says, "Wow, the paritz want me on the side. What happened? What did?" He finished to give out the money to all the people, and then he says, "Tell me a little bit more about your life. I'm interested. You look good." He says, "I was in my." He says the whole story. I had a hotel and I had this. He says, "Did you have a helper with you that helped you?" "Yes, and I don't know what happened with him, because I wanted to make him happy. I paid for him the studying and he disappeared." So he says, "My dear guy, I am your helper. I'm here to help you." He was shocked. He says, "Yes, but how can I?" He says, "No problem. I'm now building a big building. I want you to be in charge of it. It's now in the process. It's not finished yet. I will call you in a few months. For now, I will give you all the amount to just pay back all your credit that you have. Pay back. And after a few months, I will call you. You are going to work with me because I appreciate you." He says, "No problem. Thank you very much." And he got the big money for paying back the credit. And then what happened? At the same time, like a few days before, a big group of gangsters came and made a big hold up, and they stole so much money. And nobody knew who was that group of people that stole the money. And a few days afterwards, they see that poor guy, Jew, paying back cash, all the credit that he had, and he paying this $1,000, and then $10,000, $50,000. And they said, "Well, he was a poor guy. How come that he has so much money and he's paying back all the credit and this and that? He is the thief. Let's send him into jail." Wow. And suddenly this guy, he's found himself. He didn't do anything bad. And he found himself into the jail. And he's starting to cry and to cry and to cry. A few months passed. And the Paritz remembers that there is this Jew that he needs to bring and to hire for this building that now is finished. And he sends messenger to call the guy. And they don't find him. They don't find him. Where is the Jew? Where is the Jew? Where is the Jew? Oh, no, we don't find him. Oh, I know where is he. He's in jail. So they came back to the Paritz, and the Paritz says, how come that he's in jail? He's like straight like a ruler. He cannot be a thief or something. He goes to speak with the second Paritz, with his friend. He says, no, it's not possible that he is the one that stole the money. It's my money. I gave him for the credit. And he told him the whole story. He took him out from jail, and now he's becoming the manager of the building of the Paritz. Beautiful. But who didn't like it? The non-Jews. The non-Jews around that wanted to have that spot to be hired for that building, they didn't like it at all. So they started to think, what can we do in order to just cancel that Jew, that erase him. We want to get that position. They started to think, and the priest in the town came up with a diabolic idea, and he said, I know a woman that is pregnant, and she's about to give birth. I will ask her to kill the baby and to throw the baby in the backyard of the house of Moshe, of that Jew. And whenever we are going to find out that the baby is found in the backyard of the Moshe, that's it. He's just going to be killed. And everybody was so happy about the idea. The day that was supposed to be plan to happen, it was planned 12 a.m., the woman needs to come with a bag, throw it in the backyard. Now, don't forget, the Jew has also a part, like a bar, that he was giving vodka to people also. And who was on drink to come to drink some vodka with the Jew? The Paritz. The boss of Moshe. He was coming and speaking with him, telling stories and this, and drank so much because the Jew had very much to say, to tell to the Paritz. On that night, the Paritz stayed a little bit more than usual in the bar of the Jew. And he said, okay, you know what? Now it's 12 a.m. Let me go. It's too late now. And he's going out and he sees in the darkness a person there holding a bag. And this was the woman planning to throw it. And the woman sees the Paritz coming out from the bar. She got shocked and she started to run, running away like nothing happens. And he says, oh, that doesn't smell good. Let me go back to the bar. Let's wait a little bit more. And he goes back to the bar, and the Jew sees again the Paritz, says, well, what's happening? He says, no, don't ask questions. I need to wait here. And he's waiting 1 hour, 2 hours, and he's looking in the window like in the hall, and he sees the woman coming back with that bag in the middle of the night, throwing the bag and just running away. I understand, says the Paritz. Now I understand. On the next day, it was big news. The Jew killed the baby. They are this. Until today, unfortunately, we see those things in a modern way, but this is the same idea. And the Jew this and the Jew that, he needs to get killed. He got arrested by the policeman, thrown in jail, and the Paritz, he knew exactly what's going on. He understood that if the case will be judged in the city with the priest, he will never be able to overcome the priest. So he came to the priest and he says, it's not possible to have that happening with a Jew. I trust him. I think that we need to judge him in the higher court, not here. Here is too small. We need to give him a good punishment. We need to go to the Supreme Court of the big place. So he says, okay, no problem. Let's go there. And then what's happening? The woman crying because she lost the baby. She's going there and she goes to be the witness. She goes to be the witness that the Jew killed the baby. And meanwhile, the Paritz says to the Jew, I will manage to just let you go for a day. Go run to the Baal Shem Tov. You remember he told you, you will need me one day, right? This is the day. Go to Baal Shem Tov and ask him what I should say in the court in order to take you out from that situation. He says, no problem. And he's running to the Baal Shem Tov and he's going to Baal Shem Tov told him what to say, and he's coming back for the court. And then when the court started, the woman started to cry, she lost the baby and this and that, and then the Parit stand up and says, I saw you on 12 a.m., why you run away with the bag? And the bag, this is the same bag that I saw the baby inside. And she started to scream so much on that woman, she started to stress, and she just admitted that it was all a plan just to erase the Jew. So from here we understand the power of the laughter. The power of the laughter is to turn away, v'na'afochu. And then the Parit said to the Jew, you need to celebrate 2 times Purim. The Purim in general for the whole nation, and your Purim because you are supposed to be hanged. Instead of being hanged, we are hanging now the priest, right? This is your Purim. V'na'afochu. This is the laughter.
You should call it, Rabbi.